Hey guys, and welcome to episode 3 of Live Your Best Life. I'm Bria Pittman, and today I want to talk to you guys about drifting and how drifting through life may be causing you feelings of anxiety and sadness and maybe even a little bit of depression, even though I'm not a therapist, so of course I can't say, oh, this is causing you depression. But if you've ever said out loud to yourself, what the hell am I doing with my life? Whether that's like when you're sitting in your cubicle at work and you realize you hate your job and you're like, what in the hell am I doing with my life? Why am I here? Or it's even like when you're laying in bed at night and you can't sleep and you're like, what in the hell am I doing with my life? So in his book, Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins talks about what he calls the Niagara Syndrome. And I think it's a perfect example of what it can feel like to be drifting through life. So I'm going to read y'all an excerpt from his book where he talks about the Niagara Syndrome and drifting. So he says, too many of us don't make the majority of our decisions consciously. In so doing, we pay a major price. In fact, most people live what I call the Niagara Syndrome. I believe that life is like a river. Y'all know I love analogies. Life is a river and a mountain. Okay, focus. I believe that life is like a river, and that most people jump on the river of life without ever really deciding where they want to end up. So, in a short period of time, they get caught up in the current events, current fears, current challenges. And when they come to forks in the river, they don't consciously decide where they want to go or which is the right direction for them. They merely go with the flow. They become a part of the mass of people who are directed by, they become a part of the mass of people who are directed by the environment instead of by their own values. And as a result, they feel out of control. They remain in this unconscious state until one day the sound of the raging water awakens them and they discover they're 5 feet from Niagara Falls in a boat with no oars. At this point they say, oh shit, but by then it's too late. They're going to take a fall. So sometimes it's an emotional fall. Sometimes it's a physical fall. Sometimes it's a financial fall. And, for most of us, it's likely that whatever challenges you have in your life currently could have been avoided by making some better decisions upstream. So the first time I read that, it completely stabbed me in the chest. I was like, oh man, is he talking to me? So, ask yourself, does that resonate with you? And does that strike a chord with you? And, don't fall into being sad and oh, I suck and I'm this and I'm that and I'm not living intentionally. There are things that you can do. All is not lost. So here are 2 things you can do today to stop drifting and start living an intentional life. So number 1, you first have to decide. Decide if what I'm saying is important to you. Decide if you're willing to put in the work or if you're going to roll your eyes and shut off this video. But decide. So, all right, you're still here. So great. So here's thing number 2. Set a goal. Think about where you are right now. Be brutally honest with where you are right now, and then think about where you want to go. Is it your goal to land a new job? Well, think about the actionable things that you need to be doing to land a new job. So update your resume, update your LinkedIn, and the third biggest thing is let people in your immediate network know that you're looking for a job. It shocks me the number of people that they just blast out their resume everywhere that they can think of, but they don't tell any of their friends in their immediate circle, hey, I'm looking for a job. If you hear of anything, let me know. And I'm not saying that you have to go post some post blasting it out on Facebook for everybody to see, but be strategic, and the people that might know about jobs, just reach out to them and say, now don't ask them for a job, because nobody's going to give you anything, but reach out to them and say, hey, I'm looking for a job. Will you keep your ears open and let me know if you hear of anything? So decide that it's important to you and then set a goal. And I encourage you, when you set a goal, write that goal down and then post it somewhere where you can see it. I've had people make fun of me, which, whatever, I'll be the one having the last laugh on this. But I've had people make fun of me over the fact that I write down my goals. I create a vision board every year and I post it somewhere where I can see it because it helps remind me of what I'm trying to focus on and achieve for that year that I'm in. We get so distracted by everything. And so if we don't have it written and it's right in front of us, then we might forget. So I want you to decide today to stop drifting and start creating the life that you want. You know, there's a reason that books like Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning or The Purpose-Driven Life, you know, there's a reason that books like that are so popular. It's because your life, it demands direction and purpose. So make yourself happy and give it to yourself. So you just finished episode 3 of Live Your Best Life, and I want you to remember that this is your one life, your only life. There are no do-overs, so make it count. I'll see you next week, friend.